I hit a wall, I failed, and I got off track. Okay, so I just want to be honest with you guys. The journey of transformation is never easy. I've been really good for almost 3 months now, but here it is, right? A big road bump happened over the weekend. It was regarding the body transformation side of things. I just kind of lost motivation, lost the will to really stay on track. And it was a party, a beautiful birthday party of a friend of ours. And I just gave in to my sweet tooth, my terrible sweet tooth. And I ate way too much sweets, and that actually opened up the floodgates for another day of eating completely off the plan, which resulted in gaining weight and zero progress on that front. In addition, I injured my shoulder about 2 weeks ago, and I think that injury has a psychological effect as well, because I can't exercise my upper body, and it creates this distance between what I really want to do and what I can do. And within myself, there's always a dialogue that goes on. Is it good enough? Is it not good enough? What to do? And remember, last time in my video, I showed you two voices, two little people that sit on each shoulder. On the right shoulder, it's usually the angel that is trying to give us the right directions and encourage us to go the right way. And on the left side, it's this little devil, the monkey mind, that can really screw things up. And the monkey mind took over, right? Now, stay with me until the end of the video. I, first of all, appreciate the time you're spending with me, but I will share with you the one secret, the one tool that really allows me to bounce back really quickly and just let go of whatever has happened. This is something I've learned over 3 near-death experiences, and it kind of gives me a better perspective about life. But to be honest, this tool, this specific mindset and approach to life is applicable for everything. So I'm sharing this with you in the connotation of a body transformation, because listen, transformation is not easy. Change is not easy. Trying to adhere to something for a long period of time that requires a lot of discipline and motivation and all those things that are limited, right? I mean, motivation is limited. Willpower is limited. I always compare that to a battery in your cell phone, right? Maybe you charged it overnight, first thing in the morning, it's full, it's ready, you can do whatever you want, but around 12, kind of at 50%, 3, 4 o'clock usually is the crash for most people, you're at 25%, and then towards the end, there's just no more room. So willpower and grit and discipline and all of those things, they don't stand a chance if your why is not big enough and the trajectory of your goal, of your transformation. We're not talking about small goals here, guys. Remember, this is transformational goals. They have to really be long-term enough in order to absorb these things. So for me, this weekend, fell off track. I knew it, and I had this discussion with myself. Am I going to give into it and just let it be and get over it? Or am I going to hit myself on the head, blame myself, shame myself, like, the old little, monkey mind used to do years ago? And my decision at that point was, what? There's always a price. I'm willing to pay it. I'm just going to go and let loose here and just be whatever it is that needs to happen. And I'll pick up on Monday again. Now, how do I do this? So first of all, I acknowledge that I went off track, and it is human. It is natural. It is not something that, will take me completely off track now because this has happened. So that's the first thing, is acknowledgement. Being aware of the conversation in my head allows me to put things in perspective. Second thing, I reach out for help. This is something I didn't know how to do for many, many years. And this is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over my recovery from 3 near-death experiences, and understand just how I am wired and how allowing, receiving help and support changes everything. So I reached out, and I have a coach now, this, that is helping me with my nutrition and my exercise program for the body transformation. And I was just really honest, just as I am here with you guys. I was just honest of what has happened. And he didn't tell me anything new or, a revolution that completely changed everything that I see and think, but he just reinforced the fact that when something happens and it's not the way you wanted it to be, there is an opening to create a very unhealthy relationship with that event. Okay, so give you an example. With the overeating, this little binge that I had over the weekend, so I gained almost a kilogram, almost 2.2 pounds, right, in the weekend. Now, in reality, it's not fat, right? You don't gain 2 pounds, 1 kilogram of fat in a weekend. I didn't eat like 10,000 calories. I, ate some sweets and cakes and things that normally I would avoid in order to stay on track. So that has happened. So first of all, the weight is not something that is real. It's more water retention, inflammation, undigested food in the system. So for my coach, it was beautiful how he did it. And I love it because I learn how to coach better through this. And every coach needs a coach, right? I mean, it's not that you figure it all out. We're figuring things out as we go. And he just opened the conversation about what can happen if I will create a negative relationship with the event. So if binge eating, which happens and will continue to happen, it's not that you become immune to it and sometimes you just want to eat more. I share with you, you know what, I think in the video before I even shared that there is an event coming up on the weekend and maybe I even programmed myself to allow that binge to happen. When I think about it, that might be the case there, right? So intentionally, subconsciously and consciously, I probably created the situation. But the beauty of it was that when it happened, I saw it, I realized it, and now it's all about what kind of story, what kind of connection I will create around it. So if it is a negative one, and it is to say, oh my God, you're an asshole, you're worthless, look at what you've done, some really aggressive self-talk that I don't use anymore, but trust me, I used to use that 10,000 times worse in the past. That doesn't happen anymore. But the reality was that I had a choice. Do I create a negative relationship with what has happened, or do I reframe it, shift it, and move on and let it go? So creating a negative relationship, for example, with overeating could be this. You will starve yourself for the next few days. You will have negative talk about your ability to adhere to a change or a program, whatever the case may be, and you will start to demoralize yourself to continue on the journey. Third thing, it will be, I will try to overcompensate now, right? Train harder, do more cardio, overcompensate for all of those things. And what it does, it actually reinforces a negative relationship with overeating in this particular situation, but it could be relatable to anything in your life. A relationship, a communication breakdown, between you and your partner or your kids or a colleague at work. It could be, some bad news that you received about your health or something related to your finances or whatever the case may be. You take that event, and if you create a story that is bigger than what it is, and you attach a negative relationship to the entire process, you're in trouble, my friend. Because now you reinforce a behavior that every time something like this will happen in your life, the negativity associated with it will take precedence over your ability to get over it. And now you wallow in the situation longer, the condition takes over, the negative talk becomes louder, and the end result could be that you just quit. You just throw the towel in and you say, I'm done, this is not for me, right? That's the danger zone. So with the help of my coach, with the ability to raise my hand and ask for help and guidance, I was able to reconfigure the situation and say, okay, so if I don't want to create a negative relationship with this situation, what do I do? And for me, this is the most powerful tool that I have received as a lesson, as a gift, and I graciously, hopefully pass it forward to you guys if you can use it in your life. It is the ability to self-accept and self-love ourselves in all situations, right? We're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody has a formula to do one thing the perfect way and to get the perfect result. This is a journey. We choose vehicles of growth in order to evolve, to expand ourselves, right? So for me, for example, after going through, very, very intense, deep, painful, full of suffering journeys, recovering from 3 near-death experiences, car accidents, amputation, heart attack, all of those terrible things, didn't really allow me to be in a healthy space to do the work that I do right now. Right now, I chose a vehicle One of them is a body transformation. The other one is a business transformation, triple, quadruple my business. And the third one is writing my book. All of them are kicking my ass on a regular daily basis. By choice though, right? I enjoy the process. I enjoy the challenge. When something happens and takes me off track, it's, oh wow, I become curious. Okay, what happened? What were the actions I took before that to allow it to happen? The thoughts that I had, the mindset I'm in. Maybe I didn't sleep well enough. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe something's going on in my household, relationships, finances. All of those things, even if you think they're small, they have this accumulative compounding effect, and they kind of creep on you, and then there's an explosion. There's one trigger that, something happens and the process breaks. And it's natural. This is something I've learned to accept. It's just the way things are. We go through a phase of growth and expansion, and then there's stagnation, and then there's decline, and then there's destruction, and then there's growth and build again, and it's the beautiful cycle of life. So being more self-accepting, more self-loving towards myself, and just see it as, okay, it happened. I can now let it go, not make a big deal of it, not associate to it as something that is, beyond what really has happened. And here is the beautiful piece, right? So this happened over last week, and now it's almost a week after that. What it allowed me to do, it allowed me to show up every single day and continue to do the work I need to do. So for example, with the body transformation, so on Monday I said, okay, it's a big reset for me. So I'll be more aware and try to adhere to my program better, right? Didn't do it 100%, but probably did it 80%, maybe 85%. That is good enough to continue the journey of results, because every day there's this beautiful, 1% concept in improvement a day. If you do 1% in activity, action, behavior, 1% better than the day before, there's a compounding effect. By the end of the year, I can't remember the numbers right now, it's like 377% or something by the end of the year, right? I think, I'm not sure. But anyways, those are kind of the beautiful pieces of compounding effect of just stay on track and keep doing the work that you do. So for me, showing up at the gym, I can't do my full workouts and all the rest of it. So at the beginning, I kind of felt a little defeated. So my intensity and my motivation for the workout wasn't there. And then again, I just did this reset. Self-acceptance, self-love, tend the injury. Don't push it. Don't aggravate it. In the past, I would just try and go back and exercise as soon as I can and probably aggravate the injury again, and then it will be a longer process to recover, and then I will be in pain and suffering, and maybe it's not the right thing I'm doing, and all the self-talk that is crazy, right? Stop. Okay, so I work more. Other parts of my body, intensity is back. Motivation is back. The long-term 1,000 days right ahead of me. Right now, I don't know, what do I have? 930 something left, right? Puts it in proportion and in perspective of, okay, this is part of the journey. Accepting this, anticipating even that this will happen, allows me at least, and hopefully you will gain something from this too, allows me to absorb the situation when it arises, look at it, learn from it, understand, okay, this is what happened, this is why maybe, how can I do something better about it when I move on? And look guys, the beautiful piece of this is that this is applicable for every area in your life. Every challenge that you're faced with, every communication challenge, health challenge, relationship challenge, financial challenges, whatever the case may be, there is always that piece of something has happened and now you are building a story around it. Now that story, as you continue to build it, becomes your identity almost, right? It's the language that you use. It's the body posture that you hold, right? If you're depressed and sad and you're kind of, you're going to be hard on yourself, that's the body posture that you'll hold. All of those things radiate energy outside of you as well, and then it starts to affect other people and situations. So the snowball effect is really aggressive. What I have found, and I hope that today you'll take one thing from this conversation, is the ability to see the situation for what it is, reframe it, go and see the situation from an inner perspective of self-acceptance and self-love of you're not perfect. Nobody is. I'm far, far from perfect. The more I learn, the more I develop, this self-evolutionary process, the more I know I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm curious to experience certain things that can really allow me to look at the situation from a different perspective. All right, my friends, this is it for today. If you like this content, subscribe to the channel, share this with others if you find that this could be helpful. And if you have any comments, any questions, please post them here below the video and I'll get back to you and I'll see you next week. Till then, stay strong, stay focused, be self-aware, and the most important piece, I can really always say this with a full heart, learn to love yourself, accept yourself. It's a weird relationship because it's something most of us don't know how to do. So it's an evolutionary kind of process, and just stay curious. All right, my friends, we'll see you next time.